Banky special.
Yeah.
Pure deliciousness.
Pure deliciousness, man. My name is Banky, man. Everybody calls me Banky. That's the name that I got from my grandmother when I was young. I'm coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, you know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts. Shout out to everybody out there on Team Banky Pound, man. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the support. We back out here, man. 33 years of prison stories. 33 years of prison stories. I like to thank everybody who supported me, everybody who rocking with me, man. Everybody on Team Banky Pound, everybody on Team Banky Pound Nation. Big love, man. Big love. We moving onward and upward, spreading this message, getting this positive energy out there by any means necessary. So that's what we doing. I wanted to make this video right here because a lot of people ask me about that, you know, like, you know, how was it when I first, you know, went to prison? And I keep getting them questions every now and then, and I look back and I realize I ain't really never really speak on it or really, you know, touch the subject, just, you know, jump right into being in prison and, you know, how things went for me while I was in there, how it was. But, man, just to think back to it, you know, and just to reflect on it, it was truly insane, man. It was a crazy situation. You know, being young, never been in prison before, walking up into prison, you know, for the first time. I think by the time I got to prison, I was like 21. So, you know, legally and technically you grown. But, you know, in prison, you know, they don't, you know, everybody grown. You know, these grown men up in here, real grown men with real life experiences, real life and death situations, you know, in and out of prison. And, you know, you by yourself, you on your own, you know, and that reality, I think that reality set right in on you off the top. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nobody you can look to the left to, look to the right to and say, okay, this is what it is, or, you know, jump on the phone and call somebody, look, man, this what's going on, come on down here, you know, it ain't no help. You know, it ain't no help, it ain't no body coming to save you. This is what it is. So it's a eerie feeling, man. And then, you know, walking up in there myself with, you know, 2 life sentences, 115 years, you know, that in itself is mind-blowing, man, and it puts you in a situation where you're looking at it like, you know, how do I even start doing this? Where I start from, what, you know, where is it gonna end? Is it gonna end? Is there an end to this? You know, so I remember all of these things running through my mind. You know, like when I first walked up into prison, you know, I guess you could say receiving when I first walked into receiving. You know, leaving from the jail and going up in there and just walking in there the first time, just walking down that hallway after going through all the, you know, craziness you have to go through to get processed in. As I think I spoke about that before when I got processed in Southampton receiving, man, they was doing crazy stuff there, man. You know, like, you know, making you take showers and put lye on you to make sure that you didn't have any type of, you know, infections or diseases or whatever the case may be, and making you shower and you know, inventorying all your property from the jail and separating what you could have and couldn't have, and, you know, then giving you your housing, your where you going to a cell at, and giving you the stuff that you could have in bags and boxes, and then just straight walking you, you know, to where you was going, to your cell. So that would be my first, you know, introduction into prison, even though it was only receiving. But even that was just kind of like eerie, man, because you know, you going in here, and then once you get, you know, down the corridor and you get in there where everybody's at, you seeing people move around, and you seeing people talking and watching TV, and, you know, just, you know, kicking it with each other and everything, and you just looking around and just looking at everything, and you just like, man, you know, it's like they settled in already because they've been here before you, no matter how long they've been in receiving, they've been there before you. You just getting there, so you like trying to, get some type of understanding, man, some type of grasp of where you at and what's going on around you, and it's a big difference, even from receiving from the jail to receiving. That's a big difference. It's a real big difference because of the movement, because of the volume of people, the amount of people that you're around. When you're in the jail, you only around, whatever the jail cell hold, like 10, 8, 7 people. Now you're around like hundreds of people at one time. All from different states, all from different parts of the city, all from different walks of life, different colors, different cultures, predominantly black and brown, but all of them are in there. And man, you just feel like you just like a fish out of water, man. Like, man, this, it's crazy. And, immediately everything that you did to get in here start replaying in your mind, like, man, you messed up, or man, what I get myself into, or and then the sentence run in your mind, 2 life sentences, 115 years, like, how I'm gonna do this? You know what I'm saying? Really, like, how I'm gonna do this? Because when you look at what's going on and you seeing how people living, the conditions, the rules, the regulations, the situation, it just is overwhelming, man. It's overwhelming. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's overwhelming. Because you're thinking in your mind that this is how they live first and foremost. Now I gotta adapt to this, and then how long do I gotta do this? Who knows? Got 2 life sentences. Who knows? And when you get in there, you don't really know what nobody else, how much time they got. Because dudes ain't talking about that. They ain't nobody talking about, well, I got 40 years, I got 10 years, I got 5. Ain't nobody really talking about it. Only person you ever really heard say how much time they got is dudes that got a little bitty time. You might hear a dude every now and then say, man, I ain't got but 3 years, or man, I ain't got but 6 years, or something like that. And you automatically be quiet because you know how much time you got, and you looking at it like, man, they probably look at me like, man, what you do, or what's going on with you? Or look like this kid ain't gonna never get out. You don't know. You know what I'm saying? You don't got no clue because I ain't never been in the system before. I don't know what's going on. I don't know nothing. And it ain't like nobody there to teach you. Ain't like nobody there to hold your hand or to guide you or tell you, woo. That ain't happening. You know what I'm saying? That ain't happening. You are literally on your own. And a lot of people, like even me, you ain't really been on your own ever. You know what I'm saying? By the time you hit penitentiary, you ain't been on your own. I had lived by myself on my own before I went to prison, but for a short amount of time, and it was it's different though, because like I said, if you get in a bind or something go wrong, you just a phone call away from help. You just a short drive away from help. Nah, not in prison, man. Not in prison. You eons away from any type of help, and you ain't driving nowhere, and you ain't going nowhere, and every problem that arises, you got to deal with it yourself, and yeah, that's a harsh reality, man. That's a harsh reality, man. Especially for people out here now that's in this free world. This is reality right here, man. This is what you gonna be going through if you ever be so unfortunate enough to go to prison or to get locked up. All of these things gonna be running through your head when you walking up in this what we call the big house, man. And receiving was a wake up call for me. But then as soon as you get to trying to process that, is on to the next one. You know what I'm saying? That's not even really the big house. That's the junior big house, because you can really go to the big house, which is actual prison, where you on a prison yard, you on a prison compound, with dudes that got as much time as you. Some got more. Dudes that have been locked up 20, 30, 40 years and know how to do time and understand what's going on, and they got all the game with them, the flammery, the skullduggery, the larceny, the tomfoolery that you don't know nothing about, because you still trying to learn what's going on in the penitentiary. You got to learn as you trying to survive at the same time. You got to be flawless, because one bad situation, one bad calculation, one bad move, then, is over. that's a wrap. It's over for you, or you in a situation that you can't get out of. So yeah, man, it was definitely overwhelming for me. It was overwhelming for me, to put it mildly. And I'm processing all of this and taking it all in. And then, like I say, my receiving was cut short because of an altercation that I previously told y'all about. You know what I'm saying? Where I got in a physical altercation to no fault of my own, but you know, my just natural instinct was to handle it the way I was supposed to handle it. The only way that I knew how was, you know, put hands on somebody, and that caused me to shorten my receiving time. And then from there, you know, like I say, all mistakes count. You know what I'm saying? From there, I go straight to the wall. They pack me up and ship me to the wall, which at the time was the most vicious and well-known prison in the state of Virginia. You know, you got dudes that have been in there for 30, 40 years. You got dudes been in there for 20 years. You got dudes that ain't never going home that was in there. You know, that's been doing time, that know, you know, what doing time is all about, how prison is, and, you know, the ins and outs, the game that's being run, everything. And you getting dropped off in here young, you know, green, with astronomical amount of time. Man, yeah, man, you know, just thinking about it right now, man, it's kind of like, you know, give me the same thought process of when I walked in there, man. And I can remember walking in there, as I told y'all, you know, briefly too in some of these videos, man. And it was that was you know, like a step up from even the receiving, man, because this was really overwhelming because first and foremost, the prison was way bigger. It was way more eerie looking. It looked like an old, you know, like Dracula movie or something, like a castle, a dungeon. And when you walk in the block, man, the block was like man, probably 3-4 times bigger than the receiving. You know what I'm saying? Block that you had to sleep in. You know, it was a hallway in receiving. You know, boom, straight down, maybe 10, 20 cells on each side. You walk up in the wall, man, and you got 4 tiers of rows and rows of dudes, man. There's hundreds of dudes in here at one time. And you don't know who. You know what I'm saying? You don't know who behind these bars, because it ain't no cell doors, it's bars. So dudes are standing at the bars looking out, hollering, screaming, you know, because they see new dudes coming in. They see young dudes coming in. And, you know, you could smell, man. I'm telling you, you know, even at this, you could smell the danger. You know what I'm saying? You can smell it. You know what I'm saying? You can sense it. You know, the hair stood up on you. You know what I'm saying? You got, you know, get chill bumps and like, man, you know, I done messed up. You know what I'm saying? I done really messed up, because this ain't it right here. You know what I'm saying? This ain't it right here. This ain't the way you want to live. This ain't the way you want to live every day. This ain't the environment that you want to be in, but it ain't no escape now. You know, you stuck. You know what I'm saying? You literally stuck, you know, and it's like quicksand, man. It's like you going, you know, deeper and deeper, you know, the more you struggle with the reality that, you know, how can I get out of this? So, man, you know, it ain't no way out. It ain't no way out, man. You just stuck, and the more you try to figure it out, it's like you going deeper and deeper and sinking deeper and deeper, man, into, you know, your mind of depression and and just misery, man. Like, you know, good God, man. But you gotta suck it up. You know what I'm saying? You gotta suck it up, because survival now is the main thing on the table. You know, survival is the main thing on the table, man. So, you know, you try to get in that mindset, and that's when I start, you know, formulating my mind. Like, man, you know, like whatever it is, I gotta survive this ordeal, man. And, you know, for how long, I don't know, because like I say, you being told one thing. I was told so many lies when I went in. You know, you ain't, you know, 12 years, you go up for parole, and, you know, stay out of trouble. You're probably gonna make it, and all you gotta do, you know, you're a first time offender, just, you know, go in there, do what you're supposed to do, stay out. Man, you walking up in this place like this, you like, how? Like, how? You know what I'm saying? You can see that walk. How you gonna stay out of anything? You know what I'm saying? How? You know, no, you just can't see it. You know, I knew that from even receiving. Getting in the little altercation that I got in was beyond my control. So how is you possibly going to ensure that you stay out of something? That's number one. So you start to, you know, get in your mind that, you know, this ain't what they said it was, or this ain't what I thought it was, and definitely ain't what I seen on TV. It's definitely not what I seen in the movies. You know, this something whole different right here, bro. This real. You know, this is live. This is, you know, in the air. This is, you can smell it, you can feel it. You know, these cats in here, man, ain't got nothing to lose and don't care nothing about nothing, and they ready to, you know, take your life, your everything at the drop of a dime, because they hungry. You know, they ain't had nothing, they ain't seen nothing, and they ain't got nothing coming. But you coming in, you new, you green, you fresh. You might have money, you might have anything or everything that they want, and at the same time, you feeling like I ain't got nothing because I just lost everything. So man, it's just a crazy, crazy feeling, man, and it's like it's sickening at the same time, man. You get sick to your stomach, man. You get, you know, you get headaches, man. You like, man, this is overwhelming, man. It's just overwhelming. But you really ain't got no time to think about it. You know, you ain't got no time to dwell on it, because now you got to check out your surroundings. Now you got to, you know, you got to formulate a plan. You got to, you know what I'm saying, and you got people yelling and screaming, yo, come to the door, man. Hey, come to the cell. Hey, yo, where you come from, man? Hey, yeah, you just, where you come from? What city you from? All this stuff. And I ain't trying to talk to nobody. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to answer nobody. You got dudes making cat calls and whistles, and it's like we out here, and it's like a couple of us. We like, who they talking to? You know, you just automatically go into like this type of mode. Like, man, just forget everybody, man. I mean, what, you know, I'm here, man. I'm you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do whatever it is that I got to do. You know, and a lot of times, you know, like I say, that was my mind frame, but at the same time, a lot of dudes just fold. They just fold. They just get overwhelmed. They get so scared. They get so paranoid. They start losing it. You know what I'm saying? And in the process of doing that, they end up losing their self. You know what I'm saying? And succumbing to whatever it is that's gonna be waiting for them when these doors open and when we get settled in. You know what I'm saying? And you know, it's just a mindset of what you gotta have. Now, me myself, coming from where I came from, you know, I always had fight in me. I always had fight in me. I always had, you know, resolve in me. But this too, for me to say that I knew, you know what I'm saying, what was gonna happen, or how I was gonna turn out, would be a lie, because I didn't. You know, to say I won't scared, to say I won't, you know, nervous, to say I won't, you know, ready for, man, I'd be lying, dog, because I was shook. Straight up, I was shook. You know, and anybody in their right mind would have been. Just like I'm looking at all these cats that's in here, that's been in here 20, 30, 40 years, and went through the process, and they are who they are now, and they do what they do now, and they command the respect and attention that they do now in prison. I'm quite sure it won't like that when they first walked in neither. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure it won't. You know, but yeah, me, I was on some man, nervous pervis, because I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't want to, definitely don't want to hurt nobody, and even more so, I don't want nobody to hurt me. But I know for a fact that that's on the table. I know that from day one. Just looking and just smelling and just seeing and just hearing, I know that's on the table. So you got to get your mind right then, like, man, how is it gonna be? Or what am I gonna do? Or, you know what I'm saying? And all of that type of stuff start, you know, just, you know, overloading your mind, man, where you just can't even think straight. You can't even process this. You start thinking about home. You start thinking about the people you love, the people you left, you know, how they doing, or would they believe this? Could they understand this? Or you want to talk to them, you want to get some type of words of encouragement, you want to get something, man, that will just make you feel better than what you feeling right now. Because what you feeling right now is just like, man, the pit in your stomach, the ache in your heart, the strain on your brain is like, man, Jesus, man. And then when you get to your cell, man, and you see how filthy it is, how nasty it is, how, you know, unsafe it is, it's like, man, just get worse and worse. It's like you looking for some type of silver lining. You looking for something to grasp onto to say, okay, this is manageable. This is doable. This is, you know, it ain't none of that. Nah, it ain't none of that. You know what I'm saying? The food come and then the food is trash. You know what I'm saying? So you know now how you gonna be eating is trash. How you gonna be living is trash. Your conditions, trash. Your situation, trash. It's nothing. It's nothing. There's no silver lining nowhere. You know, and then a lot of times in life when you out here in the free world and things is going bad and you got this going on and that's going on and you just catching a stroke of bad luck, it's always something you can look forward to. It's always a silver line. It's always you can say, well tomorrow I'm going to get it together or woo. Nah, it ain't none of that in prison. No, it ain't none of that. Yeah, because you already know where you at and you already know tomorrow you're going to wake up, it's going to be the same thing. You're going to eat the same thing. They're going to bring you the same thing. These same people is going to be here. The same cell you're going to have to lock into. It's miserable, man. It's miserable, dog. It's miserable, you know. And man, it sent me for real for a minute, man, into a real depression, man. You know what I'm saying? I was like super depressed, man, of my situation, of not knowing what tomorrow was gonna bring, not knowing what the day is gonna bring, and yeah, I was sick with it, man. I stayed on the phone when they started letting us out. I was on the phone, you know. I was talking to my mom for a lot, you know what I'm saying, when I was, you know, in there first trying to get adjusted, because I don't know, man, if I just felt like I needed to hear her voice. I needed to get that strength from her, you know, to put it inside me to do what I got to do to try to make it through this situation. But that's a hard thing to do, even doing that, man, because you still looking at, you know, I don't know how long I got to make it through it. I don't know how far I got to go. I don't know what hurdles I'm going to have to get over. I don't know, you know, you don't know, because you don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. So it was difficult, man. It was difficult. And then when you start seeing the people move around and you out and about and you seeing, you know, the violence pop off, you seeing the arguments, you seeing the way people move, you seeing all these Bethlehems, and you seeing, you know, dudes, the way their attitude is. You seeing dudes that look like they just live on the weight pile. You seeing dudes that just cussing and gambling, and you know, you seeing dudes running around trying to get high, and you seeing dudes just beefing and talking crazy to the police. You seeing dudes climbing all up and down the bars of these big gigantic tiers where if they fall they gonna die. And it's like, man, it's like you in a human jungle, man. It's like, you know, it's stuff that you ain't seen before, and it's stuff that you can't get away from. That's the most, you know, hardest pill to swallow. It's like, man, I can't even duck it. You know what I'm saying? I can't even duck it on the street, man. You go around something, it's ratchet, it's crazy, these dudes is acting retarded. You like, man, I gotta get out. This ain't for me. I gotta, boom, you out of there. You can't do that in prison, man. You can't do it. You can't get away. It ain't nowhere to hide. It ain't nowhere to run. It's just like, boom, it's right there. This is it for you. This is what you got to deal with, man. And man, I'm gonna tell you, the processing all of that alone, you know, you got to have something in your heart, man. You got to have something in your heart, and you got to have the will to live, man. Because I'm gonna tell you, when you first go into prison, it'll suck the will out of you. You know what I'm saying? And depending upon what type of sentence you got, what's ahead of you, and you knowing and you looking at that distance, and just like that distance like that, when that distance is out of sight, man, that's rough, bro. That's rough. To lock it in your mind that I got to live like this all the way until whenever. It's rough. Yeah, it's rough, man. It's rough, and it takes some real soul searching, man, to lock into that reality. You know, to lock into that reality and say, well, I got to do it. You know, and that's why a lot of people fold. That's why a lot of people succumb to a lot of other things, because it's just so overwhelming, man. And I'm no different from nobody else. I'm telling y'all that it was super overwhelming for me. And like I say, man, it was times, I'm telling you, man, real talk. I mean, you know, it ain't no shame because it's reality. Man, suicide was on the table for me. You know what I'm saying? It was on the table for me during that time from receiving to that wall. I think in that wall was the most critical time for me, whereas to I was really considering, you know, just taking my life, man, because I ain't want to deal with this. You know what I'm saying? I ain't want to deal with it, just in no way, shape, form, or fashion. Even the part of it that I've just come to resolve in my heart. Okay, well, I'm you know, I kill. You know what I'm saying? I kill to survive, or whatever. It's still the journey, man, seems so hard and so long. It's like, man, you know. And then even if that comes to that, when somebody try to harm you and you defend yourself to the 10th power and you take a life, then it's a whole nother journey that starts. It's a whole nother process that you got to go through. It's a whole nother ordeal that you're gonna have to deal with. You know, and that alone is exhausting just on the mind, just to think about it. So it's like, man, you just be like, man, I just can't win. It's nothing I can do, man. I messed up, you know, so bad that, you know what I'm saying, this is what I'm gonna have to live with. And then you decide if you want to live with it, if you can live with it. And it was on the verge for me, like, maybe I can, maybe I can't, you know. And then you know, it was some significant things that happened during that time that my mind frame was like that, man. And I revert back to my mom, you know what I'm saying. You know, I remember she came to see me, you know, one time while I was in there, and this is during the time that my mindset was on that, where I was contemplating, you know, not even trying to do this stuff, because I knew I didn't know if I could, you know. And just to see her and to talk to her and to get her reassurance. I think at the time she probably the only one who knew that, you know what I'm saying. And it's something that we never even talked about to this day, you know what I'm saying. But that conversation that I had with her during that time, man, it just gave me, you know, more resolve, man, where I turned the corner, you know what I'm saying, from being like suicidal to most definitely being homicidal, you know. And doing whatever I had to do to try to survive. And if my life get took in the process, then so be it. But it won't gonna get took by me just laying down. It won't gonna get took by somebody just, you know, doing whatever they wanted to do to me. It was gonna get took by me, and, you know, on the battlefield. You know what I'm saying? Doing whatever it is that I had to do. You know, and you know, seeing the dude get killed within the first, you know, week or so that I was in there, a couple of days or whatever it was, that had a major impact on me as well, man. It had a major impact on me as well. And even after I went and caught me a Bethlehem, you know what I'm saying, immediately, because I was like, boom, it's still, you know, that thing is still in the back of your head, because you still gotta have the heart to use that Bethlehem. You still gotta have the heart to you know, to defend yourself to the point where you may have to take somebody's life. And this ain't no standing off from 20 feet away or 100 feet away, or shooting somebody with a gun, or you know, nah, you got to get up on that person and do that personally. And that takes a certain type of individual to be able to do that, either to do it on his own or to do it under the force of pressure, or to do it to preserve your life. You still have to have something in you that would allow you to do that. And then you also got to look at the flip side of everything too. You know, your life can be taken as well. You know, your life can be taken as well. You know, and I think that right there, that factor alone, that your life can be taken as well, is the main factor that keeps people paralyzed with fear. You know, when they come into prison, that keeps them paralyzed with fear that, okay, I ain't gonna let nobody do this to me, I ain't gonna let nobody do that to me, but boom, if I try to do this, okay, what can happen to me? You know what I'm saying? Or is people thinking like I'm thinking? Is they gonna try to kill me if I, you know, it's just a lot, man. It's just a lot to take in, man. A whole lot to take in, man. So, yeah, man, you know, people think about all the physical stuff that goes on in prison, and a lot of people don't talk about the mental stuff that goes on in prison, because everything that's physical going to have to be first formed in the mental. It's going to have to be formed in your mind first. You know, the will to survive is going to have to be formed in your mind before the actual physical things that you're going to have to do to survive is even in play. You know, the mind going to have to tell the body what to do. And if your mind is paralyzed with fear, you're going to be stuck. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be reactive instead of proactive. And in prison, you're going to have to be proactive, you know, instead of reactive. Because if you try to be reactive in prison, you may not even get a chance to react. You know, that's just the reality of the situation. You may not even get a chance to react, man. So it was a lot to adjust to, man. But just walking into the prison at the age that I was, never being in prison before, having to process all of this on my own, with 2 life sentences and 115 years. Yeah, I almost succumbed to that, my brother, my sister. I definitely almost succumbed to that, man, because it's overwhelming. It's overwhelming, and I'm sure the same thing is applicable to dudes that go in there with 5 years, you know, 3 years, 10 years, because the initial you know, encounter with the prison lifestyle is gonna be overwhelming. Yeah, it gets overwhelming, man. But this situation and this topic, it gets deeper, man. It gets deeper. But unfortunately, as y'all know, I was just up there, you know, visiting my aunt in Fredericksburg, trying to get this book deal off for y'all, and it went well, by the way. And I left my battery, man. I left my battery to this camera. I left the charger up there. My auntie is overnighting it to me, so right now this is the only battery I have, and it's going out. It's getting ready to go out. It may stop at any time, so we're gonna leave this subject where it is. Hopefully, you know, I gave y'all some type of idea what it would be like, man, to walk up into prison, you know, for the first time, you know, never being in there. And yeah, it's a crazy situation. It's a horrifying situation. It's a reality check, and everything else. But if y'all want me to revisit this topic, y'all let me know. But I'm gonna have to end this video, and yeah, I could talk about it a little bit more. And hopefully, you know, me talking about it would be the only experience any of you ever have to deal with this type of topic, man. Never having to experience it yourself. This is why I make these videos. This is what I hope for people that's listening to it, you know. And like I say, it's a blessing in every lesson, man. And the blessing is you can hear about it. You never have to go through it. You never have to experience it, man. And we gotta try to reach them and teach them out here, man. Because as y'all can tell by the news recently, there's just a lot of foolishness going on out here, man, where people is just throwing their life away to this prison. And man, I feel for them every time, for both sides. You know what I'm saying? For both sides, the victims and the people throwing their life away, because I know they don't know what they putting themselves in for. I know they don't know the lives that they ruining, the people that they hurting. That, you know, it's crazy, man. And we gotta do better. And you know, we gotta lead the charge. You know, Team Banky Pound Nation, we gotta lead the charge, man. So each one teach one, man. Y'all reach out and help somebody, man, if you can, and spread this message of positivity, because that's what we all about over here, man. Y'all be safe, be smart, make good decisions, man. I'll see y'all in a minute, man. And duck. Boom, 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 boom. Duck them hooks, baby. They out there, man. The penitentiary will not close unless we close them. Peace.
The Banky special.
Yeah.
Pure deliciousness.
Pure deliciousness, man. My name is Banky, man. Everybody calls me Banky. That's the name that I got from my grandmother when I was young. I'm coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, you know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts.